Respected teachers, fellow students, and friends, good morning to you all.
Today, I stand before you to discuss a critical issue that is affecting not only our nation but also the world at large: corruption. Corruption is like a disease that spreads silently, weakening the very foundations of society. It knows no boundaries and affects both rich and poor countries alike. From the misuse of public funds in Nepal to massive international scandals involving millions of dollars, corruption is a global issue that needs to be addressed urgently. But how can we, as students, play a role in controlling this pervasive problem? To begin with, we need to understand what corruption really is. It goes beyond just taking bribes. Corruption is about any dishonest action where people use their position for personal gain, often at the expense of others. This can happen at all levels, from a small bribe to a traffic officer to large-scale embezzlement of public funds by high-ranking officials. Even cheating in exams or using unfair means to get ahead can be seen as forms of corruption. In Nepal, corruption is one of the biggest challenges we face. It hampers development, widens the gap between the rich and the poor, and erodes public trust in government institutions. Internationally, corruption leads to the misuse of resources that could otherwise be used for development, healthcare, and education. But the fight against corruption isn't just the responsibility of governments or organizations, it's also up to us, the students, to take a stand. As students, we have a unique position in society. We are not only the future leaders of our country but also the conscience of the nation. The first step in combating corruption is by educating ourselves about its harmful effects. By understanding how corruption operates, both at the national and international levels, we can recognize it and refuse to be part of it. Knowledge is power, and when we know what is wrong, we are more likely to stand up against it. One of the most powerful tools we have as students is our voice. We can use our voice to raise awareness about corruption among our peers, families, and communities. We can organize events, debates, and campaigns in our schools and online to educate others about the dangers of corruption. Social media is a particularly powerful platform where we can expose corrupt practices and demand accountability from those in power. Moreover, we must lead by example. Integrity should be the cornerstone of our actions. If we refrain from cheating, lying, or using unfair means in our daily lives, we set a standard for others to follow. By promoting honesty and fairness in our schools and communities, we can create a culture where corruption is not tolerated.
Students also have the power to hold authorities accountable. If we see corruption happening, whether it's in our schools or our local government, we should report it. There are various channels through which we can do this, including student organizations, anti-corruption bodies, and even social media. Our generation is more connected than ever before, and we can use this connectivity to demand transparency and justice. Internationally, we can learn from the efforts of other countries that have successfully reduced corruption. By studying these examples, we can advocate for similar reforms in Nepal, whether it's promoting transparency in government processes or supporting laws that punish corrupt behavior. Every small action counts. In conclusion, the fight against corruption is not an easy one, but it is a necessary one. As students, we have the responsibility to be part of the solution. By educating ourselves, raising our voices, leading by example, and holding authorities accountable, we can help create a Nepal and a world where corruption has no place. Together, let's work towards a brighter, more honest future. Thank you. Do not forget like video and subscribe channel.